all that it gets, so you know I gotta bring it. Yeah, I love like minutes is infinite. Time is the money, the white.
Just joking.
I was recording?
Yeah, it was recording.
I wasn't ready.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is SCL0320 back at it again for a brand new movie review.
Yeah.
Got here, this man that hasn't been here in a minute. It's been a minute.
What's up, YouTube?
Joe Johnson, or Joe Johnson 030, right?
Yeah, I'll let your boy.
How y'all doing? So we were lazy today. Hopefully this is good enough lighting that y'all can actually kind of see our faces. I don't know. Can't really see y'all up there. But we're doing a review on the brand new movie John Wick. Starring your man, the one, Point Break himself, Keanu Reeves. So, the movie was insane, y'all. If any of y'all looked at The Equalizer had a lot of action, good story arc, but this was non-stop action from start to finish. You want to, I guess, talk about what you thought about the cinematography of it, or just the action part of it, how it looked visually to you?
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely with the visuals, you know, the cinematography, with the action, how they interacted and kind of played off one another is really cool. Because at the beginning of the movie, you know, not trying to give too much away, it was really, he has a nice place. He has a nice living setup. You know what I'm saying? Cinematography did a good job of capturing all of that. And it did a complete 180, you know what I'm saying, when he actually got into the high action, high caliber fight scenes. Yeah, and like what's interesting about the fight scenes is how like he would kind of position himself towards his enemies, you know, trying to in order to defeat them, because you know, he's one guy going up against like armies of guys, you know what I'm saying, with weapons. Yeah. So he's got to do moves that's out the box you normally wouldn't see. Yeah. It's crazy the angles that they shot this guy doing everything that he needed to do to defeat his foes. So yeah, good job, kudos.
The guy that's the director, David Leitch, it's either David Leitch or Chad Stahelski. One of them is actual fights choreographer. So he knows how to shoot great scenes of action, and by far the actions for this one, I mean, I've looked at, what was that movie with Christian Bale where he was using guns?
I know what you're talking about, I forgot the name of it.
Equilibrium. I mean, we've seen The Matrix, we've seen like even Django Unchained, but I kid you not, y'all, the action sequences for this, when he actually finds a target, he makes sure he's gonna kill them. And I've never seen certain ways of killing people than like in this one. Let me read the synopsis for it. An ex-hitman comes out of retirement to track down gangsters that took everything from him. That's very vague, but from the opening of it, you get introduced with a lot of different flashbacks of the person and who he was and everything. And the funny thing is, the beginning of the movie is technically the end as well. That's one spoiler I'll give you. But how that carries on and how you get to that point is this amazing cinematography. It was so beautiful how every shot was rich, and even when he went to like the clubs and the different spots, like each one had a vivid set color. But then I think even the instrumentals for it fit very well too, I thought, because it was like a good pacing for every time he was doing it. But I really loved it. I mean, what did you think of the action, or I guess the visuals? If you want to give it a rating from 1 to 10.
Man, the action is definitely a 10, man. Or at least a 9. I'll put it at least a 9. Yeah, I give it a 9. I give it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I give it a 9.
I think for me, since I've come out of looking at Equilibrium 3 times and then saw this, and some of the things I've seen in this, like visually, like as far as this, if I went and saw it again, I know I'd pick up on every single cue of when he killed somebody and how strategic he was with killing people. And even the preciseness of it. There's an assassin guild that's within the element of this, and the way that they treat these characters is done so well, elegantly. It was just positioned perfectly, you know, and so I have to give it a 10. Like as far as the way they position, the cinematography and the action, and even the music for it, it was really awesome. So going to the acting real quick, what did you think of Keanu's performance in this one?
I think it was really good. I think it was really good. And why I say it's really good is because, not giving too much away. This movie I saw outside of Keanu Reeves that I haven't seen in any other movie. And if you watch it, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. There's just one scene kind of towards the end, or when things are starting to get resolved in him, or in his situation, you know, or what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
There's one scene, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
What happened?
When he was when he talked to the leader.
Oh,
he talked to the leader.
Yeah.
And he was like,
well, to tell y'all a small bit of it, without spoiling too much, you got a guy that's a normal guy, right? That you think is a normal guy. He's got a dog. His wife just died, and the dog was left to him by his wife that he loved. And the wife basically told him, like, you need to keep and maintain your humanity. And this is where the acting comes out really good for Keanu Reeves' character. He seems to be a decent guy that's trying to deal with grief, you know. And his wife said, you need to keep your humanity through this dog. And these guys, these Russian guys, they look at him at a gas station. They say they want your car. He's like, it's not for sale. You know, he thinks nothing of it. He goes home, chills. And this is where everything is a turning point. And you find out that these guys that threatened him initially about trying to get the car are part of the ones that are in hand with trying to take his car. And they do something very terrible to him. And you find out when he goes to the gas station, these guys that stole his car, when they go to a gas station, they talk to John Leguizamo's character. And they're like, what's up with you? Like, what happened? Like, we need to siphon this car out. They're like, where'd you get that car? Where'd you get that car? And this is where everything just turns and you realize that they messed with the wrong person. And that's where everything shifts. And the person that stole the car, the dad, he has a bit of weight. And he talked to the guy that was the John Leguizamo's character. He's like, what's going on? What's the issue? Why'd you have beef with my son? He's like, because he stole the car from this person. And this is where everything goes crazy, because now the centerpiece is taken away from the son. It's like now transferred to the father. And everybody just is on their P's and Q's because they have like mad respect for this guy. But at the same time, they know how dangerous he really is. And the acting goes from right here to all the way up here, because there's different points where you're like, that's hilarious, to like, wow, that's deep. That's really messed up. William Dafoe plays an assassin named Marcus, who's a sharpshooter. And you don't find out till the end what he was doing in the end game of this whole entire thing. I think the main bad guy was, his name was Vigo. That's the name of the guy. He's played by Michael Noquesti. He does a really good job as the antagonist. I wouldn't call him the bad guy, honestly. I just call him the guy that was in the situation that happened because his son was stupid. Alfie Allen, who plays in Game of Thrones, he plays like technically the antagonist that creates the act of violence that comes out, you know. And everybody else that trickles in is just part of the Assassin's Guild. You got people like Ian McShane, Lance Roderick. Lance Roderick plays like the hotel manager. Ian McShane plays like one of the main leads of like the assassins. And it's just, the acting goes on and on. These are not breakout like acting roles that you see, like, it's not like Academy worthy, but they played the role of what they were given. And I really respected that. So I probably give the acting maybe at least an 8 out of 10. I didn't have any problem with anybody's performance. I thought they fit the mold of this dynamic film. But what about you?
I give the acting a 7. Not necessarily a bad 7, but it was just, I don't know, it wasn't just the movie just for the acting. I would say it was a good movie. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. But at the same time, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like your performance, dude, blows me away. Yeah, it wasn't anything like that.
Yeah, I think that part of it, Joe, is that they're trying to balance the comedic side of what's going on. It's dark comedy, right? Because like, man, this dude is screwed. Yeah. And then at the same time, this is a real serious mess up that somebody did, and how this is gonna end, we just don't know, Yeah. Going into the story, I really like the story, but it's like the story is really kind of a 1-2 punch in the sense of like you didn't know exactly how it was going to end, but you know it's going to get to that focal point at the end. But how it happens, I think the process of the ride that you're given, like, okay, you start seeing who he is through how he's killing these people and how much weight that everybody's looking at him like, this guy is something serious. He's a legend, you know? And I think that as a viewer, we're like anticipating the worst for everybody that he comes in contact with. And I think that that in itself is a good tool when it comes to storyboarding. When you come to a real storyboard, you want to have something that's an equalizer. Somebody that basically can counteract anything that's bad is happening, but at the same time has weight to them. And his character has so much weight that everybody within the cast respected them. And you can tell through their performance, like they either were scared of him, jealous of him, or trying to kill him just because they were worried for their life. That's everybody. And so I really like that plot about the story. And I see why this guy on Rotten Tomatoes like a 90% rating, because it stayed true to what it was. It's an action movie. It's not afraid to be an action movie. It's a rated R action movie. But then it creates a legend that now you want to, I don't know about you, but I want to see a sequel. Now, whether they can do a sequel or not, I'm anticipating one. You know? What about you? What do you think about it?
As far as the plot and the story, man, it's very simple story, you know? But it's like this huge, the best way I can describe the story is it being like this huge boulder or rock, you know what I'm saying, that you see coming towards you. And it's just like, when this hits, it's just gonna be total catastrophe, like unavoidable. Like, you see everything coming, but it's like, dang, when this hits the fan, it's just gonna be terrible. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be terrible for everybody. So yeah, that's what gave it that weight for me. Is like it's about to go, it's going down. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that once I think it was kind of revealed to the son like who this character was, they did like a kind of a back shadow of like Keanu Reeves' character showing from the back. He's in the shower. He got all these tats up. He got all these scars in his back. You like, what in the world? You didn't. If you look at him just from what he dressed, you wouldn't tell any of that. And then I think, like Joe said, there was a midway point. There was an interaction between him and the dad, and like he just gets mad. He's like, everybody's asking me if I'm back, and he just loses it. And you can tell the rage and the anger. And he asks his dad a serious question. I'm not gonna reveal to y'all, but just like the fortitude for him asking something like that, it's like, okay, this guy has the authority to do whatever he wants to, or he at least knows that he's capable of killing everyone, you know. And that in itself, those certain kind of scenes like that, it was some interesting stuff. And then even like a lot of the scenes, he puts his body in harm's way to kill someone. And I've never seen stuff like that. It's really awesome. He would have been an amazing Punisher back in his prime.
That's all, dude. I was thinking
he would have been a crazy Punisher.
The same thing.
But anyway, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely go and check it out. I'm willing to go see it again. I want to go see it in IMAX. We saw it in RPX, which is actually pretty good because they got nice seats in the Regal cinemas. But definitely, man, I really highly recommend this. I'd give it at least a B or a B+ rating. This is really good. Hopefully y'all liked our review. Please leave a like below. If you got any comments, please let us know. We got a lot of crap coming up soon. Nah, that's not crap. We are gonna actually provide y'all with our Comic-Con footage very soon. So me and Joe are gonna be the narrators of it. I'm gonna start trying to do the post-production. I've been on a video editing hiatus. I have not done any video editing, I wanna say, for 3 weeks. So I've just been taking video and posting online. So I'm gonna do some serious video editing coming this week, starting tomorrow. I promise. Anyway, y'all have a good night, good evening, good day. Sam Leggett, Joe Johnson, SEL0320, Joe Johnson 030.
030.
Deuces, everybody.
Holla.
Woo! I'm about to turn the music back on.
Let's go.